contact 0883 815 055 or 0996 892 965. Get a Zugu decoder today and not miss daily.
You're watching Luntha TV and it's time for our news bulletin. My name is Tandy Zamara. First, the headlines. Pope Leo urges world leaders not to look the other way in fighting global hunger. Expert hails Mbelizi's appointment, backs merging of agriculture and irrigation ministries. NGO Gender Coordination Network calls for legal quotas to boost women's representation. And in our special report this week, Patrick Pooper explores the deep-rooted reasons behind the persistence of politics in Malawian football, revealing the challenges that continue to impact the beautiful game in the country. We do have the details to these stories and more. Just stay with us. Pope Leo XIV has called on world leaders to show responsibility as he has urged the international community to focus on the multitudes across the globe who face hunger, wars, and misery. Addressing the World Food Day global ceremony that also marked the 80th anniversary of the UN Food and Agriculture Organization at its headquarters in Rome on Thursday, the American pontiff urged the international community not to look the other way when faced with world food emergencies. The Pope openly named the conflicts in Ukraine and Gaza, along with Haiti, Afghanistan, Mali, the Central African Republic, Yemen, and South Sudan. We have more details in this Crooks Now report read by Charity Shilanga.
Pope Leo cited UN data showing that around 673 million people do not eat enough each day. Pope Leo also condemned the use of hunger as a weapon of war, but didn't name any specific conflict or region. He noted that in a time when science is lengthening life expectancy, allowing millions of human beings to live and die struck by hunger is a collective failure, an ethical derailment, and a historic offense. Pope Leo's warning comes as the UN Food Aid agencies face severe funding cuts from their top donors that risk heading their operations in the key countries and forcing millions of people into emergency levels of hunger. The World Food Programme, traditionally the UN's most funded agency, said in a new report on Wednesday that its funding this year has never been more challenged, largely due to slashed outlays from the US and the Trump administration and other leading Western donors. It warned that 13.7 million of its food aid recipients could be forced into emergency levels of hunger as funding is cut. The countries facing major disruptions are Afghanistan, Congo, Haiti, Somalia, South Sudan, and Sudan.
The Malawi Conference of Catholic Bishops, MCCB, has officially declared the 22nd of October as Laity Day to be observed annually. This special day is dedicated to celebrating the vocation and mission of lay Christians throughout the country. The announcement was made by Auxiliary Bishop Vincent Makwawa during a press briefing held at the MCCB Secretariat in Lilongwe earlier today. Bishop Makwawa explained that Laity Day aims to promote unity among lay faithful and lay associations in Malawi. The inaugural celebration will take place at Corpus Christi Parish in Nchewu within the Diocese of Leta. Emmanuel Shiwocha has more details in this report.
Addressing the media, Bishop Mwakwawa explained that the day will serve as an opportunity for the laity to reflect on their calling and contributions to the life of the church. The Catholic bishops in Malawi found it necessary to set aside this day so that the lay association, which brings together groups of Catholics and clergy, can promote public worship, Christian teachings, and effective participation in church life. The auxiliary bishop further highlighted that the Laity Day in Malawi will coincide with the feast of St. John Paul II, a saint who was known for promoting dignity and mission of the lay Christians within the church.
So, this Day of the Laity is a way of empowering the laity that they participate actively, especially to bring Christ's message of love and the service to every Malawian. As I'm saying, they're already doing it, but we see that there's still space for them to do more, especially where they stay. In the church, we say the laity have a secular vocation, a secular ministry to where they're staying. So we want to enhance that. And thirdly, we want to continue building the communion, the sense of solidarity, oneness of the members of the Catholic Church, the laity. You know, there are so many groups. There are women groups, there are men groups, there are children, there are charity women, there are preachers. So we wanted to enhance solidarity that they can have also with the whole church, a common vision in the local context, but also globally, because they also need to minister and do mission to other countries. So we want them to be together.
Beyond this celebration this year, what are plans for this to continue, but also the lay themselves to understand the meaning of?
There are two strategies. The first one is after the national launch this year. Next year, there will be diocesan launches of this same day. So it means we are now taking it down, to the grassroots. We want each diocese to also build this sense of communion among the laity and the sense of mission, sense of service. Secondly, we'll continue to have this national celebration rotationary, in other dioceses. And then also we'll take this down to the parishes and lower communities to enhance this sense of communion among the laity with the mother church. The other aspect is their formation, the teaching. We want to enhance their teaching. So we work hard as a church to teach them. There's so many teachings of the church that are there, and also to understand the present context, especially on the social, political life. We want our lay people to be able to analyze and understand what is happening in the world today, like in Malawi, and should be able to bring light and salt to the situations. We're in Malawi. We know there are challenges also. Let's talk about corruption. Let's talk about laziness. Let's talk about, maybe poor governance in some sectors of our society. So we want our lay people to be agents of goodness and change in those societies, in those communities. So we will continue to give good Christian and contextual information to all the people.
Executive member of the National Laity Council of Malawi, Onans Nyilenda, has appealed to all Catholic faithful and well-wishers to support the celebration financially and spiritually. He revealed that the event has been budgeted at 14 million kwacha to cover logistical and organization costs. The national launch of the Laity will be held under the theme Christian Missionaries of Hope, Be Converted and Live. The celebration is expected to draw over 5,000 Catholic faithful from across the country. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Emmanuel Chiwocha.
One of the country's agricultural experts, Felix Jumbe, has praised President Peter Mutharika for appointing Rosa Mbilizi as Minister of Agriculture, noting that she brings the necessary experience and leadership skills to effectively lead the ministry, especially after its merger with the Ministry of Irrigation. Jumbe also expressed support for the decision to merge the Ministries of Agriculture and Irrigation, stating that the integration will strengthen policy coordination, improve resource management, and encourage the adoption of climate-smart farming techniques to enhance agricultural productivity in the country. He made these remarks in response to both the appointment of Rosa Mbilizi as Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development and the consolidation of the three ministries. Gift Karonga has more details in this report.
Jumbe has described the appointment as brilliant choice, highlighting Mbilizi's experience as former Deputy Commissioner General at the Malawi Revenue Authority and her background in economics and finance. Jumbe noted that her expertise positions her well to lead the newly merged ministry and drive initiatives that enhance agricultural productivity and irrigation. He further welcomed the merging of the Ministry of Agriculture and Irrigation, saying it will streamline policy implementation, improve resources management, and support climate-smart farming practices. Jumbe stressed that irrigation is a key strategy in mitigating the effects of climate change, ensuring consistent crop production even during periods of low rainfall.
Right now, as I'm speaking, I'm at NRC, where we are seeing crops that have been produced under irrigation. It's marvelous. If you people would come and look at the NRC where we are, you see the crop, it's like it's rain-fed crop, but it's under irrigation. So we would want to enhance irrigation to ensure that we are producing enough. Malawi should begin now to account for what is being produced under irrigation, because it is years now we have been investing and talking about irrigation. Talking about Lower Shire, the irrigation project that has been there, 10 years we have been talking about it. But we haven't seen the output. We really need to see that output now, and we need to be serious as Malawians.
Meanwhile, Malawi is preparing to enter its 2025-2026 agriculture season. For Luntha News, this is Gift Kalonga.
Maggie Gatera Banda, chairperson of the NGO Gender Coordination Network, NGO GCN, has called on political parties and the government to urgently implement legal quotas to ensure women's representation in leadership and decision-making roles. Speaking in Lilongwe during a dialogue session organized by NGO GCN with Secretary Generals from various political parties, Gatera Banda highlighted several barriers women face in politics. These include the lack of internal party quotas, gender-based violence, and limited access to financial resources for running campaigns, all of which hinder their full participation in the political arena. Bridget Monoga has more details in this report.
Gatera Banda said from their discussions on Thursday, women highlighted the need for clear quotas within political parties because that is where meaningful representation begins. She said if parties don't create space for women at the grassroots, it becomes difficult for them to be featured as candidates at high-level events. Gatera Banda stressed that inclusion should go beyond symbolic representation, calling for women to be involved in actual decision-making processes rather than being confined to positions without real influence.
Women talked about issues of concern from the political space, and some of the things that they talked about is the issue of quotas for women within political parties, because I think this is where it starts from. So women have to have quotas within the parties so that then they can be featured as candidates and all that. There are also issues to do with gender-based violence within the political space, where sexual harassment was also raised as an issue. There are issues to do with financing for campaigns, where women don't have resources for them to undertake effective campaigns. Women also talked about being involved in the actual decision-making processes, because it's one thing to be put in a structure.
UDF Secretary General Gennarino Lehmann said it is the responsibility of senior party officials, particularly Secretary Generals, who act as chief executive officers of their respective parties, to champion the message of gender equality and turn it into practical strategies that address women's concerns in politics.
It's true that women don't get the opportunity to lead in most circumstances, not just politically, but if you look as well as culturally. The people tend to believe that women should not lead, but that is not what we believe in. In democracy, we believe that anyone else can lead. Male or female should both lead. As the UDF, we've sat down, we've always thought that the women are the ones that have got the capability as well to take leadership roles and lead. That's why in our system, as a party, we've got the women's wing, where which is an autonomous wing, where they select their own president, they have their own executive, and in so doing, it has given power to the women.
Deputy Director of Administration in the Ministry of Gender, Esther Ngongola, praised the initiative by NGO GCN for bringing together women and secretary generals from various political parties, describing it as a significant step towards improving inclusivity and gender equality in Malawi's political landscape. She further noted that the government is committed to supporting these efforts by reviewing existing policies and exploring legal frameworks that can guarantee women's representation in leadership positions at all levels, including parliament, local government, and executive offices.
A commitment to our gender equality and political empowerment strategy that we are now undertaking. It means we are now moving together. So we are very happy that they are responsive and they are here to listen to what the Secretary Generals, the women leaders are saying. It means they are now embracing the strategy and we are on the same path.
UN Women supports the engagement with funding from the governments of Sweden and Norway. The platform allows women leaders to address issues affecting their political participation and build strategies for future elections. Bridget Manoka, Luntha News.
Remember that you're watching news coming to you live from Bishop Levy Media Center, and today with me, Tandy Mzamara. Before we proceed, let's have another look at the headlines. Pope Leo urges world leaders not to look the other way in fighting global hunger. Expert hails Mbuyisi's appointment backs merging of agriculture and irrigation ministries. NGO Gender Coordination Network calls for legal quotas to boost women's representation. And in our special report this week, Patrick Pupa explores the deep-rooted reasons behind the persistence of politics in Malawian football, revealing the challenges that continue to impact the beautiful game in the country. Proceeding with the news, the Ministry of Education has reaffirmed its commitment to working with development partners to make inclusive education a reality in Malawi. Speaking on the 17th of October at Balaga Secondary School, Lucy Magangula, Deputy Director for Inclusive Education, made the remarks while hosting a delegation from Oxfam Africa Education. The delegation visited to assess the progress of the Girls Initiative for Resilient Learning and Support project, which is being implemented in Malaga and Machinga districts. Magagula emphasized that while strides have been made, additional support is essential to fully achieve the goals of inclusive education. Andrew Nandolo has more details in this report.
Magagula thanked the Scottish Government through Oxfam for the support it renders to the Ministry of Education through the Girls Initiative for Resilient Learning and Support project being implemented in Malawi. She then asked for more support, revealing that during this year's primary school Living Certificate of Education results, about 2,100 special needs students have been selected to different schools. She advised the girls, who are the direct beneficiaries, to utilize the chance so that after completion of their education, they can stand tall and make others benefit from them too.
I had to request the girls not to take this opportunity for granted, but make sure that they utilize the resources that are being invested in their education and make sure that they move a mile. What we want as Minister of Education is to see them excelling from secondary education to tertiary education.
Representing her fellow beneficiaries, Trinity Mandolo said before the project, many pupils, especially girls, were unable to complete their education due to school fees, long distances to school, and lack of empowerment. She said she will make sure use the chance and ask her friends to do the same.
The upcoming of this program makes me feel happy, comfortable, and feel that I can do it. Before everything, there is more challenges that I was meeting with, but due to the coming of many clubs from this project, we learn more in these clubs.
Speaking on behalf of Oxfam, Edward Beckman expressed his team's satisfaction with the progress of the project and also how Malawi government through Ministry of Education, district councils where the project is being implemented, and the performance of the girls.
Well, our impression is we are happy. We have tried to make sure that we work closely with the national ministry, the district, the division, parents, teachers, and of course the girls. And we are very, very happy at how closely we are working together. We are seeing more the girls happy, energetic, empowered. We see them in school. We see them performing well. So overall, we are very, very happy, and we were happy that we could come today. And to spend time with everyone and to listen and to hear what more we could do to keep making bigger impact.
Girls Initiative for Resilient Learning and Support project is being implemented in 3 countries of Malawi, Rwanda and Zambia. And in Malawi, about 500 girls are benefiting in the district of Balaka and Machinga. The project started in July 2024 and will be winding up in 2029. Reporting from Baraka, this is Andrew Nandolo.
In entertainment news, emerging local artist Shambi Mazingela has highlighted the importance of using music as a tool for shaping the moral values of Malawian society. He made these remarks following the official premiere of his new love song, 1+1, on Luntha Television's Gakudagona program. In an interview, Mazingela described love as a universal language that transcends social status, emphasizing the need to promote love and unity through music. He spoke to Robert Edward.
It's Marsha, the rhythm. She under fate. Marsha, we see.
It's a love song. We're talking about a man leaving his parents and also a woman leaving her parents, uniting. We're saying that these people, they are no longer two people. They will become one flesh. That's what the Bible says. So this song, it's a love song. Talking about a man who leaves his family and also a woman who leave her family as well, uniting us to be one body.
Why are you making love songs?
Love is a universal language. Everybody has tasted love in his life. Love is a thing that it's universal. Everybody has ever loved, has ever been loved.
umandipetsa kutsekemera ukanapanda kubadwa ineka yabwezi pano ndikuta.
Music is a tool that leads to a lot of people so easily, so if we preach about something which is not good, that means that bad message is going to reach a lot of people at a short space of time. So if we use to preach very good messages, it means also people are going to get that message so easily. Yeah, we are planning to have an album before the end of this year, probably maybe in December. Yeah, so we're going to release an album.
What has been the reception? How have Malawians received you out there?
It's so overwhelming. Malawians are loving our songs.
Malawian football has come under fire for being deeply entangled with politics, where national team and club coaches are often accused of engaging in behind-the-scenes espionage to win favor with team owners, especially when it comes to influencing decisions about head coach and assistant coach appointments. As the Football Association of Malawi FAM intensifies efforts to reform the sport, to reform and professionalize the sport, this culture of political interference has exposed a troubling shortage of qualified coaches. Many lack the essential CAF B and CAF C coaching licenses required to manage top-tier clubs effectively. In response, FAM has been taking significant steps, as one in May this year, by conducting a CAF B license training program which saw 25 coaches successfully complete the course. In this week's exclusive report, Patrick Popper delves into the systematic issues fueling political interference in Malawian football.
In a significant move to enhance the standards of coaching in Malawi, Football Association of Malawi FAM President Fleetwood Haya has emphasized the importance of professionalism among local coaches to maintain discipline, highlighting the negative impact of politics on the sport's integrity. Haya pointed out that some coaches conduct their duties as politicians in order to buy favors, which is detrimental to the game of football.
As Football Association of Malawi, we did reclassify the Coaches Association not to be politicians, but rather to remain as professionals and as experts. You may agree with me that if these coaches go to their teams and indeed vetch themselves into politics, they may be fired, not necessarily because they have failed as coaches, but rather maybe because of their interference. So we do believe that coaches that have learned today, they have got an opportunity to make sure that they remain technical, they remain professional without any interference of politics in their clubs and even at large.
From May until September, the Football Association of Malawi organized a CAF B license training program, successfully satisfied 24 local coaches. We consulted the FIFA instructor John Kaputa regarding why local coaches are engaging in politics within the sport. Kaputa lamented that such behaviors often arise from a failure to achieve good results. To counteract this trend, he urged coaches to embrace modern football principles by demonstrating strong skills at their clubs.
The course content is divided into 4 modules. They did the first module, second module, now they're on the 3rd module. The last module, which is the 4th one, is the practical sessions at their respective football teams or football clubs, where they are going. And we're going to follow them, we're going to find them, and assess them on the practical sessions. The importance of CAF B, it covered philosophy of football, as part of the theory sessions. It has covered the training programs. It has covered how to make a report of the match after the game to the committee where they are responsible to make reports. They have also covered how to make the last report of the season in terms of performance level of each individual player, in terms of strength, weaknesses, and the future plans for the game. It has also covered sports medicine. The last topic which we were dealing with yesterday was on stress, very important, which they have also learned very, very well. So the course has so many topics, and these people are lucky that they have gone through the topics which I decided to include apart from the normal coaching course syllabus.
In response to questions about political involvement in football, Coach Victor Mpande urged the association to continue providing technical and material support to motivate coaches.
As we know, knowledge is power. When you've got the technical knowledge, it means you're safe and comfortable in dealing with the young boys, with the players. Therefore, it was something that is going to push us to levels where we've not yet reached. And when we reach those levels, we know that the football in Malawi is going to change. And we are really going to transform the game. It is really true because when you look at what happens at clubs, several clubs do not have perhaps the policies, and because of that a lot of coaches perhaps miss out. But when this is coming from the mother body, it means the enforcement is there. Therefore we will fully support that. When it comes to the clubs have to look into it and then look at the discipline of all the coaches, because it will be a thing that will be emulated by the boys who are being coached in the clubs.
Chairperson of the National Football Coaches Association commended the Football Association of Malawi for offering CAF B license training. For Malawian football to compete at an international level, a professional approach to coaching and a commitment to keeping politics out of the sport are vital steps towards developing football in Malawi.
That report also brings us to the end of what we had for you in this edition of our news bulletin. But before you go, here's a reminder of the headlines. Pope Leo urges world leaders not to look the other way in fighting global hunger. Expert hails Mbilizi's appointment, backs merging of agriculture and irrigation ministries. NGO Gender Coordination Network calls for legal quotas to boost women's representation. And in our special report this week, Patrick Cooper explores the deep-rooted reasons behind the persistence of politics in Malawian football, revealing the challenges that continue to impact the beautiful game in the country. My name is Tandio Nzumara. Thank you for keeping me company and continue following the rest of our programs right here on Luntha TV. Just a reminder that we are on social media, so make sure to follow us on Facebook at Luntha Television and on YouTube at Luntha TV Official. Goodbye for now and have a lovely weekend.
Maranatha Natural Healing Ministries tikuthandiza mavuto osiyana-siyana.
Munthu ine ndakhanda kudwala nthenda ya mgonamgona, kupita kuchipatala anazota kulu BP yanu yakwera kwambiri. Ndinafika posiya kuona kumakhala nyumba ine yosatuluka. Koma nditakwitsa ntchito mahebo a Maranatha, ululu unatha, ndikuona patali, olomota ndipatsa singano kuti ndike ulusi ndiyika mbota ine.
Maumboni ochuluka akuperekedwa tsiku ndi tsiku.
Ndi atanthi yesa bwinobwino kuchipatala ndimene amene kuti